Welcome back to Success Accelerator TV. If you caught part 1, you know we've already dipped our toes into what coaching is and how it can help managers and leaders like you. Today, in part 2, we're diving deeper into the practical side of things. How exactly does coaching work, and how can you make it work for you? Let's jump in. So, let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does coaching actually work? Well, coaching is a bit like cooking. You start with the right ingredients, your goals, challenges, and the skills you want to develop. Then, with the guidance of a coach, you mix these ingredients together in just the right way to create something amazing. The coaching process generally follows a few key steps. Let's break them down. Assessment. First up, you and your coach will take stock of where you are right now. This might involve some self-reflection, feedback from your team, or even a few personality assessments. Think of it as figuring out what's in your pantry before you start cooking. Goal setting. Next, it's time to define what you want to achieve. These goals need to be smart, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, let's say Samantha, our favorite new manager, wants to boost her team's productivity by 20% in the next 6 months. That's a smart goal. Action planning. With your goals in place, you and your coach will create a detailed action plan. This plan is your recipe for success, outlining the steps you need to take, the resources you'll need, and the timeline for getting it all done. Implementation. Now comes the fun part, putting your plan into action. Your coach will be there every step of the way, providing support, feedback, and accountability. Think of them as your sous chef, helping you stay on track and adjust the recipe if needed. Evaluation. Finally, you and your coach will evaluate the results. Did you hit your targets? What worked and what didn't? This step is like tasting the dish you've created and figuring out how to make it even better next time. Let's check in with Samantha, our brave guinea pig. In part 1, we talked about how Samantha struggled with communication. Now, she's tackling another big challenge, boosting her team's productivity. Samantha's coach starts by helping her assess the current situation. They identify a few key issues, like unclear priorities and a lack of accountability, that are holding the team back. Next, they set a SMART goal, increase team productivity by 20% in 6 months. With that goal in mind, they create an action plan. This includes steps like setting clearer expectations, implementing a new project management tool, and holding weekly check-ins to keep everyone on track. As Samantha puts the plan into action, her coach is there to provide feedback and help her navigate any bumps in the road. For instance, when a team member struggles with the new tool, the coach suggests additional training sessions to get everyone up to speed. 6 months later, Samantha's team isn't just hitting their productivity target, they're exceeding it. And Samantha? She's feeling more confident and capable as a leader, ready to tackle the next challenge. Let's talk about some of the techniques coaches use to help leaders like Samantha succeed. One popular method is the GROW model, a simple yet powerful framework that stands for goal, reality, options, and will. Goal. What do you want to achieve? This is where you set your SMART goals. Reality. Where are you now? Assess the current situation and identify any obstacles. Options. What could you do? Explore different strategies and approaches to overcome challenges. Will. What will you do? Decide on the best course of action and commit to it. Another technique is active listening. It might sound basic, but it's incredibly effective. By truly listening to what a client is saying, and sometimes what they're not saying, a coach can help uncover underlying issues and get to the heart of the matter. Finally, there's the Socratic method, inspired by the great philosopher Socrates. This involves asking open-ended questions that encourage the client to think deeply and arrive at their own insights. For example, a coach might ask, "What's holding you back from trusting your team more?" It's a simple question, but it can lead to profound realizations. Let's do another quick rhetorical exercise. Imagine you're Samantha, just 6 months ago. You've got a team that's underperforming, a mountain of tasks, and a nagging feeling that you're not quite hitting the mark as a leader. Now, fast forward to today. Imagine having a coach who's helped you set clear goals, implement effective strategies, and develop the confidence to lead your team to success. How different would your leadership journey be? What impact could you have on your team, your company, and even your own career? It's amazing what a little coaching can do, right? And that's a wrap for part 2. We've explored the coaching process, shared some real-life examples, and even dipped our toes into the tools and techniques that coaches use to help leaders like you succeed. Remember, coaching isn't just about fixing problems, it's about unlocking your full potential and becoming the leader you were always meant to be. Whether you're facing challenges like Samantha or simply looking to sharpen your skills, coaching can provide the guidance, support, and accountability you need to reach new heights. Until next time, keep pushing forward and remember, great leaders are made, not born. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on leadership, coaching, and personal development. And as always, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let's keep the conversation going.